Why the ultra-wealthy prefer private villas over five-star hotels. At the highest levels of wealth, travel decisions are rarely about luxury in the traditional sense. Five-star hotels still offer impeccable service, beautiful design, and global recognition. But increasingly, high net worth and ultra-high net worth individuals are choosing something different. They are choosing private villas and residences, not because hotels have failed, but because privacy, control, and emotional comfort have become more valuable than visibility. In the world of ultra-high net worth travel, the definition of luxury has evolved. It is no longer solely about opulence, service, or even unique experiences. Today, for a growing number of discerning travelers, the ultimate commodity, the non-negotiable foundation upon which all else is built, is privacy. For these individuals, true luxury begins where the public eye ends. It is not an added feature or a welcome bonus. It is the essential starting point, the fundamental prerequisite for relaxation, connection, and freedom. This is a realm where the measure of wealth is not what can be seen, but the degree to which one can remain unseen. The architectural answer to this demand is the private villa. Unlike a five-star hotel, however grand its suites, a villa is an exercise in subtraction. It methodically removes the shared spaces that define conventional hospitality. There are no grand lobbies to navigate, no elevators with forced pleasantries, no public pools where schedules and strangers intersect. Every pathway, every room, every vista is exclusively for the guest. Movement happens on one's own terms, dictated by impulse, not by floor plan. This absolute control over one's immediate environment creates a sanctuary, a hermetically sealed world where the outside world's demands and expectations simply cease to exist. This profound level of seclusion serves a critical purpose. It protects guests from the friction of unwanted attention. For public figures, C-suite executives and families accustomed to constant scrutiny, the relentless gaze of others is a source of ambient stress. Whether from the lenses of paparazzi, the curiosity of other travelers, or the strategic observation of professional rivals, public life is a performance. A private villa offers a rare and restorative offstage experience. Here, the absence of exposure is not a luxury, it is a psychological and practical necessity. It is the freedom to be unguarded, to have conversations without consequence, and to simply be a family without an audience. To achieve this, security is not an afterthought but an integral, albeit invisible, component of the design. It is a philosophy of proactive discretion. Private perimeters are secured, access points are meticulously controlled, and all staff, from the chef to the groundskeeper, undergo rigorous vetting for both skill and discretion. They are trained to be present only when needed and imperceptible when not. This creates an environment where safety is absolute but never intrusive. The complex logistics of protection operate silently in the background, ensuring that the guest's peace of mind is constant, but the mechanisms that provide it are entirely invisible. Yet, beyond the fundamental need for privacy, villas offer something even the most exclusive hotels cannot: total control of space and time. The villa becomes a blank canvas for the guest's desires. A terrace is not just a terrace, it is a yoga studio at dawn, a business meeting venue at noon, and a private, candlelit dining room by night. The environment is fluid, adapting to the rhythms of those who inhabit it. This is the shift from being a guest in a hotel's world to being the master of one's own. Within these private walls, the rigid structures of public life dissolve. Every element of the environment belongs entirely to the guest. There are no fixed meal times to adhere to, no shared amenities to coordinate around, and no institutional rules shaping behavior. A spontaneous midnight swim, a last-minute dinner for 20, a quiet afternoon of solitude, all are accommodated with seamless ease. For a multi-generational family, this autonomy is transformative. It allows for the natural, sometimes chaotic rhythm of family life to unfold without compromise, creating a space where every member, from the youngest to the oldest, can truly feel at home. Spaces can be adapted freely. Living rooms become wellness studios. Terraces transform into private dining venues. entire days unfold without interruption. Rather than fitting into a system, the system adapts to the individual. This autonomy allows personalization at a depth hotels rarely reach. Private chefs prepare meals based on family preferences rather than menus. Daily routines are preserved instead of negotiated. Experiences are shaped quietly, without approvals or formalities. Luxury at this level is not about abundance, it is about alignment. For families, the difference is especially pronounced. For the multi-generational family, the private villa is not merely a luxurious alternative to a hotel, it is a fundamentally different model of travel. Its design philosophy is rooted in fostering both connection and independence, a delicate balance that traditional hospitality struggles to achieve. The architectural layout is key. Sprawling floor plans often feature distinct residential wings or separate suites, each a self-contained sanctuary. This allows grandparents to maintain their quiet morning rituals, undisturbed, while parents can enjoy a moment of solitude on a private terrace. Simultaneously, children can explore the gardens and play by the pool with a sense of freedom and security that a hotel corridor simply cannot offer. These individual domains then converge on thoughtfully designed communal spaces. The open-plan kitchen, the expansive living area, the shaded alfresco dining table. These are not just rooms, they are stages for shared life. Here, families can cook together, dine at their own pace, and simply be with one another, unconstrained by the schedules and public nature of a resort. It's a space that allows a family to function as a family. This seamless blend of private and shared living creates a profound sense of continuity, a home away from home that actively reduces the psychological friction of travel. The typical stresses of a family holiday, coordinating separate hotel rooms, navigating crowded lobbies, the constant low-level anxiety of keeping everyone together in a public space, dissipate. Instead of adapting to the rigid structure of a hotel, the environment adapts to the family's natural rhythm. Personal belongings find their place, routines are re-established, and a sense of domesticity settles in almost immediately. This is a crucial, often underestimated element of true relaxation. Hospitality studies consistently note that villas lower stress, particularly during extended stays. The reason is simple: familiar rhythms replace transient experiences. The transient nature of a hotel stay keeps guests in a state of temporary adaptation. In a villa, the opposite occurs. The space encourages the re-establishment of cherished daily patterns, whether it's a shared morning coffee, an afternoon swim, or a quiet hour of reading before dinner. This ability to replicate the comforting cadence of home life, but in an elevated and carefree setting, is what transforms a simple vacation into a period of genuine restoration for every generation. The discretion of the staff plays a central role in this preference. The service is anticipatory, not performative. It operates on the periphery of the guest's awareness, ensuring the environment remains pristine and every need is met without intrusion. This isn't the visible, ever-present service of a five-star hotel. It is a quieter, more intuitive form of care that preserves the sanctity of the family's private space. This level of trust is built upon a foundation of consistency and familiarity. Villa teams are typically small, consistent, and deeply trusted. Unlike the rotating cast of a large hotel, the same few individuals care for the family throughout their stay. Many are hand-selected and have worked with the family over multiple years, bound by strict confidentiality agreements. They become embedded into the guest's routine, learning their preferences not from a checklist, but through observation and relationship. This consistent, trusted presence is the final element that allows a family to truly relax, secure in the knowledge that their privacy and comfort are in the most capable hands. Unlike hotels, where rotating shifts are the norm, villas offer continuity. Relationships form. Preferences are internalized. Service becomes intuitive rather than procedural. Trust compounds quietly. This continuity is especially valuable for long-stay travel. Ultra-wealthy travelers increasingly stay for weeks or months rather than days. Seasonal retreats, extended family escapes, and work-from-anywhere lifestyles demand stability. Private residences support this seamlessly. Home offices are established. Children's spaces are set up once, not daily. Life unfolds naturally without constant resets. Hotels, by their very design, are transient spaces. They are built for temporary occupancy, for the constant, anonymous flow of guests. No matter how opulent, a hotel suite remains a beautifully appointed but impersonal room, a space one passes through. Villas, by contrast, are lived in. They possess a character, a history, a soul. They are designed not for 1,000 guests, but for one family at a time. To stay in a villa is to temporarily inhabit a home, to step into a life, rather than merely occupying a room. This fundamental difference is about more than just architecture. It's about the very feeling of a place. This profound shift in preference is also deeply cultural. It reflects a broader evolution in how society, particularly at its highest echelons, defines value and status. The old paradigm of conspicuous consumption, of being seen in the most exclusive hotel lobby or dining at the most famous restaurant, is fading. A new culture has emerged, one that prizes authenticity, privacy, and curated personal experience above public display. It's a move away from the performance of wealth and towards the quiet enjoyment of it. In an age of ubiquitous connectivity, as public exposure increases and social media amplifies visibility to an unprecedented degree, discretion has become the ultimate luxury. It is a form of wealth preservation. For those whose lives are subject to intense public and financial scrutiny, the ability to become invisible is priceless. The ultra-wealthy are not retreating from travel. They are retreating from observation. They are seeking refuge from the constant, unblinking eye of the digital world, a world where every appearance can be documented, analyzed, and monetized by others. This is the unique proposition of the modern luxury villa. It offers invisibility without isolation. Within its walls, a family can exist in its own private ecosystem. Children can play freely, conversations can flow without guardedness, and moments of quiet reflection are possible without interruption. It is a sanctuary, but one that remains fully connected to the world on the guest's own terms. This environment allows guests to exist fully, authentically, without being seen. It is the freedom to be oneself, away from the curated persona often required in public life. In a villa, one is not a public figure, a CEO, or a brand. One is simply a parent, a partner, a person at rest. Ultimately, this powerful preference for private residences is not a rejection of luxury hotels. Many still appreciate the convenience and amenities of a 5-star establishment for a short business trip or a city stopover. Rather, it is an evolution of what luxury itself means. The definition has expanded beyond thread counts and Michelin stars. It has matured into a more nuanced concept, one that places a premium on intangible assets. At the highest levels, luxury is not about service alone, however flawless. Service is an expectation, a baseline. True luxury transcends the transactional. It is about sovereignty, the absolute authority to dictate one's own schedule, environment, and level of interaction. The power to decide who enters your space and when. It is about emotional ease, the profound sense of security and relaxation that comes from being in a space that is truly your own, free from the social pressures and ambient anxieties of public life. And it is about control without effort. The ability to have the environment perfectly calibrated to one's needs, the lighting, the temperature, the menu, the music, all managed seamlessly by a dedicated team that anticipates desires before they are even spoken. This is why, for a growing number of ultra-wealthy travelers, private villas are no longer an alternative to hotels. They are not a choice made for a specific type of holiday. They are the default, the assumed standard for any meaningful time spent away from home. They represent the final destination in the journey of luxury travel, a place where the ultimate amenity is peace of mind,